everyone! Today we're going to be making these really easy magic candy cane seeds, and these go really well with my candy cane planters. I have two different sizes for your different size candy canes, and as you can see, they really hold the candy cane in nicely. And don't forget to check the links in the description for this candy cane planter, as well as a ton of other crochet elf on the shelf accessories. And for our little candy cane seeds, I am working with two different colors of size 3 lightweight cotton yarn. I'm also using a size F or 5 or 3 3/4 millimeter crochet hook. And I also recommend a yarn needle and a yarn needle threader if you have them. And we're going to begin with a magic circle. So take your tail and drape it over your working yarn and pinch your little intersection. Insert your crochet hook in your loop, and we're just going to yarn over and pull through our loop while we're still holding that intersection. From here, we're going to separate our loop out like this so that we have our tail on the top side. We're going to chain 1 and then place 8 single crochets inside of our magic circle. And when we're placing these, we want to make sure we're working over our loop as well as over our tail. And if you start to run out of room with your tail, just pull it to tighten it down a little bit and give you some more room. And once you have your 8 single crochets inside of your magic circle, then you're just going to pull on your tail to tighten the gap in it. From here, we're going to skip our little chain 1 and we're going to place a slip stitch inside of our first single crochet. And I normally would be working over my starting tail, but for this, we're actually going to leave all of our tails to kind of stuff our little seed. From here, we're going to cut and tie off our yarn. Grab your next color of yarn and we're going to attach this yarn to our crochet hook using a slip knot. And for me, I like to dive right back into my current stitch right here where I just placed my slip stitch, and we are going to work in the back loop only, which is the loop furthest away from you when you're looking at your stitch. And we're just going to place a single crochet in this back loop only. And we're going to place 1 single crochet in the back loop only of each of our 8 stitches. And once you've made it back around, make sure that you skip your little slip stitch at the end of your row, and then we're going to place a slip stitch in the top of our first single crochet to join. And we're going to cut and tie off our yarn again. So now we are going to attach our red color back to our crochet hook using a slip knot. And just like the other row, we're going to dive right back into our current stitch in the back loop only, and we're just going to start to place 1 single crochet in each stitch in our row for a total of 8 single crochets. And when you get to the end of your row, just like before, you're going to skip your little slip stitch and then place a slip stitch in the top of your first single crochet. And we're going to cut and tie off our yarn again. And from here, we just want to repeat our last row with our green color yarn. And before we finish off our little candy cane seed, go ahead and turn it wrong side out. And this is just to sort of keep all of our little tails together. We are just going to tie these together in a knot a few times, kind of going up our rows. So you're just going to grab 2 tails, and I recommend tying them pretty tight, a couple of times. And once you've tied all of your sets of tails together a few times, then you can turn it back to the correct side. And we are going to repeat our last row one more time, but we're going to cut our yarn a little bit differently when we get to the end of our row. And at the end of your row, you're just going to place a slip stitch in the top of your first single crochet to join, and then we're going to cut a fairly long tail of at least 6 to 8 inches. We're going to tie it off like this, and I'm actually going to go ahead and just tie these together twice. I'm going to take my starting tail and stuff my little seed with it. From here, we're going to start to cinch up the top of our little seed here by just inserting our little yarn needle in the back loop only, from front to back in each stitch. Then we're just going to pull on our little tail here to bring it all up to center like this. Once you've cinched up all of your little stitches here, then in one of the available loops near where your sort of tail lets off, we're just going to tie off this cinch. And once you've tied off your little cinch here, then what we're going to do is draw our tail all the way through our seed like this, up to the front, sort of between the center holes here. Then we're going to cut it off near the center hole, like that. And so now we are done with our little candy cane seed. And once you're done with your candy cane seeds, they should look something like this. Don't forget to check the links in the description for my other crochet elf on the shelf accessories like this really cute candy cane planter.